Okay, so if you clicked on this video and it's 2 days till Christmas, or maybe 1 day till Christmas, and you need a little help finding something special for that diecast collector in your life, we are here to help you. If you clicked on this video just for the fun of it and you have some ideas you think might be helpful, please add those in the comments. So I'm going to make a couple of assumptions here, and we're going to get into the products. I'm going to assume that you may not know a whole lot about cars, and you may not know a whole lot about diecast collecting or Hot Wheels, and that's okay. We're going to give you some general recommendations here, and we're going to do it by store. So starting out, we're going to go ahead and start off with Walmart. A lot of these tips and things I'm showing you will be at Target as well, although Target is a little bit harder to shop at, especially this time of year. You may not find a lot of these things that we're getting ready to look for. So I assume that you're looking for something a little bit more than the $1.25, $1.18 cars. One of the first things we're going to look at is this Super Rig. I do recommend this one specifically, the pencil pusher. I like this one because it gets overlooked a little bit, so it's probably going to be available. You do get this Hot Wheels high school bus casting, but what I really like is this truck and trailer. It has a place that you can put pencils. It's got a pencil and crayon sharpener. The top of the trailer slides out, and it's a ruler and a stencil. The trailer and the truck come apart, and the bus can fit in the trailer, so you have a lot going on here. So the second thing we're going to look for at Walmart are the Hot Wheels monster trucks. Of course, the Monster Jam and the Monster Trucks get wiped out pretty quickly, but I've noticed sometimes that these more realistic castings, of course, they're novelty to a lot of people, but they also have a collectability factor, so things like this, and also this Jurassic Park Jeep. These are two more recent castings, but a lot of times you'll have these left when the more fantasy castings are gone. So if you have somebody that's into like Jurassic Park or Fast and the Furious, might be something you can find for them there. And you can scan through the monster trucks real quick. You're going to know if there's anything there or not. Third thing we're going to look for at Walmart are these box sets. Now there's different versions of this. This is the latest one that's out. These run about $30 by the time you pay tax, depending on where you're at. Very nice, very collectible set. And I will say these are premiums. These aren't really to take out and play with, so these aren't going to run on a track. If you have kids that's interested in it, you could do it, but you're kind of overpaying for it at that point. But these are meant to either kind of set in the box on a shelf as a display piece, or take them out and, enjoy them however you usually display your Hot Wheels. I would say these are good pickups, but as with all the other castings and things that we're going to look at, just be sure that it's something that your gift receiver is actually interested in. Maybe not the specific cars, but at least the type of cars. Or in this case, maybe it's somebody that likes to watch Jay Leno's Garage or different types of car shows on TV. Next thing we're going to look for at Walmart are Majorette and Pink Slips cars. There's going to be some other brands around here that you can look at as well, but these are two that I like to stick to because they have some really popular castings. They're usually pretty quality. They don't cost a whole lot for what you get. And, these are kind of newer things around here that people are getting into, so it might not be something that your gift receiver has started in yet, but I'm sure it's probably something that they've looked at. And another thing we're going to recommend is looking at the Cars series. Now this is kind of like the monster trucks. A lot of times the more popular characters are going to be sold out, but what it leaves behind are some cars that are based on actual real cars, or at least cars that are going to be more appealing to an older audience. So this would be an example of that. This is kind of a spoof on the Pizza Planet truck from Toy Story. Pretty desirable casting as far as the cars go from older collectors. And to be honest with you, I find these on the pegs quite a few places I go. So if this is something you're looking for, you might be in luck. Before we move out of the diecast realm, I will say that you might also consider some storage options. I like these cases that they sell at Walmart. They store quite a few cars. But if you get the ones that Walmart sells, look for the door that opens on this side that has these little keepers. They have one that they sell that has a little pinch tab here, and those don't work very good. So if that's all they have, I would not recommend getting that because your cars are going to fall out when you open it up. Moving on from diecast, a few other recommendations that we have. You can always look at Legos. Legos get wiped out at Walmart and Target around Christmas time, but sometimes there are a lot of these car sets left. Not necessarily this one specifically. They have a lot of different ones that are either from like Toyota. They have JDM import cars, they have muscle cars, they have monster trucks, a lot of different options there. So that might be somewhere you want to check. Even if it's somebody that's not usually really into Legos, maybe if you have somebody that used to like Legos or kind of likes them, they might be interested in something like this that's an actual car. Last thing we'll say for Walmart, you can check the RC section. Sometimes they have some pretty cool cars like this. And you may not even be buying it as an actual RC car for them to use. It may just be something that ends up being a display piece like this or like this over here. Okay, so the next store we're going to talk about is Walgreens. I'm just mentioning that right off the bat because usually they're close to a Walmart. So if you're going to Walmart, you'll be right beside one. Walgreens is usually pretty good for play sets, so you can find things like this. A lot of times they're on sale this time of year, maybe some smaller play sets as well. So if you have somebody that likes Hot Wheels tracks, maybe a younger kid, it's a good place to look for that. Something else you might consider is this Hot Wheels carrying case slot track set. You know, they're making a lot of really cool slot track cars recently, and I've seen a lot of people that collect diecast kind of getting into that. If you have somebody you know that might be interested in this, but they're kind of on the fence, this is a great inexpensive way for them to try that out. You can see here the track's actually pretty big. These run about $25 to $30 at Walgreens, and I've been seeing them still available. So this set comes with 2 cars, but if you want to do something a little extra special, you can stop by Walgreens and pick this up, and then you can go to Hobby Lobby if you have one nearby and pick them up a slot car or 2 that you think they might like. Now, the slot cars themselves are a little more expensive. They usually run around $20 a piece, but there's some really nice ones out there, and like I said, might make an extra special gift. So we're going to move on to Kroger next. The only thing that I really recommend specifically at Kroger for last minute shopping are going to be these little car packs here. They're a 6-pack of different types of cars. This one is an import set. I think you might still be able to get this one. Usually the one they're going to have is like a Euro set. Kind of depends on your Kroger. But it makes for a nice little display. It opens up and you can see the cars inside. These are all exclusive to these sets, so that makes it nice for collectors. Not a bad pickup, and usually these run around $10 to $15 depending on if they're on sale or not. Up next is somewhere that you might not think about regularly. That is going to be your local auto parts store. You can see here we have a couple of exclusive diecasts from AutoZone. They may not necessarily have these here, but it is something you could look for. They usually do an exclusive one of these for AutoZone every year, and I think they still do these big RC cars. Now again, I didn't buy this for an RC car really to use, although you could. I use it more just for a display. You know, these aren't really highly sought after, but it is a limited edition car, so that's pretty cool. One of the other things you can look out for, or they will have these Hot Wheels premiums. You can also find these at Walmart, Target, Kroger, places like that. It may just be a little bit easier to look through them at your local car parts store. And these are sold usually at O'Reilly's, Advance, and AutoZone to differing degrees. Now, the only downside to that is they usually don't have a whole lot of them. But if you're looking for something especially that's branded from a movie or a certain car series, might be a good place to check it out. Okay, so we're going to move on to Hobby Lobby. While they do have some diecast, I'm not going to really talk about specifically what they have there. You can kind of look and see if they have anything that you'd be interested in. I would say that they do have some slot cars there. There's usually not a whole big selection of them, so you can look through those pretty quickly and see if there's anything you might be interested in. Some of those are collectible, even for people that don't use slot car tracks, so that's something to keep in mind as well. But what we're really going to be looking for at Hobby Lobby, they sell 6-packs of these acrylic cases like this right here to display cars in. That's usually a safe bet. And they also have these bigger cases here. Now, the thing to watch out for on these, sometimes these can be quite expensive, but Hobby Lobby, I think, does have a version. They sell this for around $10 or $15, and sometimes it's on sale. But this isn't always in the diecast section. Sometimes this is with like thread storage or different types of craft storage. You might have to ask around or look around for it, or, you know, sometimes your store may not actually carry it, unfortunately, but something to look for just in case they have it. Or if you're looking for something like this, but just a little bit smaller, or that you could use for a display, Dollar Tree has some of these that I think hold 6 or 9 cars. They're a little bit smaller, but it's kind of a plastic case like this, and it's only $1.25. Okay, so you're running out of time, you've not found anything at the stores, or you just can't get to the store. One other option you might consider is Facebook Marketplace, or maybe some other online marketplaces as well. There's 2 things I'm going to say that you might want to look for here. Now, the first one is going to be a super treasure hunt. There are different versions of these. Of course, they've been making these for years, and they have varying values. So, what I'm going to say is a Hot Wheels treasure hunt, so you know you're not getting a fake, has really shiny paint. It will have a 2-piece wheel and tire, so you can tell it's not just like the normal $1.25 cars. Look down here, it's rubberized. And on the card, you will see this gold symbol here. And there will also be a TH somewhere on the car. This one, it's right on the bumper there. Sometimes it's a little harder to see. So there's going to be different versions of these available. I'm going to say if it was me and I didn't quite know what I was looking for, but I wanted to get one of these for somebody that's a collector, I would look for some that are in the $25 to $30 range, right? You're going to be wanting to look at the card to make sure it's not bent up or has like bad corners, things like that. Look at the blister or the plastic part that the car's in to make sure it doesn't have any cracks. If it does have some of those imperfections, but it's still something you think you might want to get when you actually look at it, try to talk the seller down a little bit. But I would stick to that $25 to $30 range. Sometimes you might find them a little bit cheaper. There are some that are definitely worth a lot more than that, but for what we're doing here, I would stick to that price range if it was me. So the second thing we're going to look at on Marketplace is collections of Hot Wheels, or lots of Hot Wheels. Sometimes they're going to come loose like this. Sometimes they're going to be carded. The bad thing about this is sometimes these are going to be overpriced, especially around this time of year, because people are going to be, I'm going to say, price gouging, whether that's what they mean to do or not. But you can also find deals where people are just looking to get rid of what they have, make room for new stuff. If you're buying loose cars, I will say these are a little bit rough. I know that, and I'm okay with it because I don't care to go through and either refinish them or just resell them to people that make customs. But ideally, you're going to be looking for cars that are in good shape, and you're going to be looking for cars that you recognize or that at least look like real cars. If it's dragons and different characters and kind of funny looking things, especially if it's a little bit older collector, it might not be something that they're interested in, okay? So I'm talking, be looking for what you know they like. If they like Toyotas, Acuras, cars like that, look for that. If they like muscle cars, be looking for Mustangs, Camaros, things like that. If they like other cars, you might be looking for like Porsches, Lamborghinis, or if they like everything, just real cars. That's what you're going for here. So be on the lookout for that. If you're buying loose, I would say I would spend no more than 25 cents per car. Maybe if they're really nice and have some castings you know the person will like, you can go 50 cents per car. On the carded cars, you're usually going to pay a little bit more of a premium, but personally, I wouldn't pay any more than 50 to 75 cents per car unless it's something that I know the person getting the gift is going to like, all right? So the good thing is you're just basically getting them cars to look through. Honestly, as far as this goes, I would probably lean more toward getting them a collection of nice loose cars if you can find it, especially if it's somebody that's had a Hot Wheels collection recently, or if they just kind of like looking through stuff and picking through and seeing. You're going to get a better deal, and sometimes you're honestly just going to find better cars. Okay, so a few bonus items for those of you who might happen to have same-day delivery from Amazon. First one's going to be this Marvel Premium set. It's a 4-car set, heavily discounted. It's running around $10 at the moment, I think, but you can see Ghost Rider, Deadpool, Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. Pretty cool cars there, especially if you have a Marvel fan in your life. And for that price, even if you have somebody that is just going to like one of those vehicles, still a nice pickup. They have several of these container sets on sale. Not this one specifically, but if you get on there and just type in Hot Wheels container set, you can scroll down and find a few of these. I think the Drag Strip Demon set's on sale, and the other one would be the Ronin Run. Of course, these honestly aren't a super bad price usually. If you can get one of these for around $30, it's still not bad if it's cars you know the person's going to like. But it comes in this case here, and the cars are just in here kind of loose, so you can pull them out and display them. Makes for a really nice gift. So the last thing we're going to look at here is another display and storage idea. This is the Hot Wheels race case. This was on sale for around $12. I don't know if it will be by the time you're looking at this. It depends on if they've ran out or not. But these are nice. They hold, I think, 12 cars. You can stack them together. You can put them together side by side, hang them on a wall, put them on a desktop. You can do a lot of different things with it. It comes with 8 pretty much fantasy castings. But this is a nice display option, even for somebody that has some nicer cars. You can put premium cars in here. Not a bad deal there. So that's the last one we're going to have. Hopefully these ideas helped you out. Let me know in the comments below if you pick any of these up, or if you have any other ideas, be sure to share those below. If you like this video, be sure to click on this other one that YouTube thinks you're going to like up here, and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more helpful tips.